Zach Neto up to the plate. First pitch on the way is taken for called strike one as Roki looks in, gets the sign from behind the plate of Smith. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. So the count is now 0-2. The Angels offense, 6.25 runs since May 22nd, leads Major League Baseball. So maybe the Angels are starting to turn the corner into success, as the last time the Dodgers saw the Angels, they were at their all-time worst. Dodgers swept them easily in 3 games in Anaheim a couple of weeks ago. Roki to the windup. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Fastball. Zach Neto has hit 10 home runs this year, waiting in. And the 0-2 pitch from Sasaki is a line drive down to third baseman Espinal. Picks it up, throws across to Freeland in time for out number 1. Just the start of things there at Dodger Stadium. And that brings up batting second in the order, Mike Trout. Trout, the center fielder, in 62 games this year, hitting .240, 14 home runs and 31 ribbies. Saki looking in, gets the sign from Smith, the windup and the pitch. Strike one, fastball. Sasaki to the windup. The pitch is fouled back and out of play. Fastball. So the count is now 0-2. Dodgers trying to rebound after a heartbreaking loss last night, giving up 2 runs in the 8th and a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th to lose 3-2 to the Diamondbacks. Sasaki looking in. 1 out, top of the first inning. The 0-2 pitch to Trout is low, a slider for ball 1. Roki, coming off of his best start of the year against the Angels the last time they played, trying to keep it going tonight. The 1-2 pitch to Trout. Swung on and fouled back and out of play on a fastball. Mike Trout, career games, regular season 1,711. Postseason games, 3. So only 3 games for Trout in his whole career. Looking in, the pitch high, fastball for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Trout. 1 out, top of the first inning, no score, just the start of things here at Dodger Stadium. The 2-2 pitch to Trout. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. So that's Roki's first strikeout of the game. And there's 2 outs in the top of the first. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Meckler. Meckler waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch is taken for a ball. Wade Deckler, in 12 games, .389 average with 2 home runs and 10 ribbies. Roki looks in the 1-0 pitch. Check swing. They look over to third, and the umpire says a swing. So it'll be a 1-1 count. Roki to the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Splitter. Count is now 1-2. Roki looks in, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. So Roki gets the Angels out 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning with 2 strikeouts. So we move to the bottom of the first inning with the Dodgers coming up. So for the Dodgers, the leading off will be designated hitter Shohei Ohtani, who took the game off the night off last night. coming back in the lineup tonight as the DH, followed by Pages, and then Freeman will be hitting third. And if anybody gets on, Mookie Betts. Just to look at the Angels around in the field. In left field, they'll have Meckler, center field Trout, right field Adele. From first base, Peraza. Madrigal will be at second base. Walton will be at third, and Neto will be the shortstop. Behind the plate will be Hop, and on the mound, Demeter. So, for the Dodgers, as they desperately trying to rebound in today's game, get out to a fast start after last night having a heartbreak loss taken from them in the bottom of the eighth inning. Actually, the bottom of the ninth, the bottom of the eighth, they let the Diamondbacks score 2, and then on a walk-off home run by Marte, the Dodgers lose in a heartbreaker 3-2. Just about ready here to get things started in the bottom of the first inning. Shohei Ohtani with a .420 on-base percentage this season, best in the National League, checks in. So Shohei facing his old squad for the second time this year. Deppers to the windup. The pitch is taken for called strike one, just hitting the black part. Deppers in 12 starts has an ERA of 4.63 and 68 innings, 82 strikeouts, 22 walks, 6 home runs allowed. Deppers to the windup. The pitch is fastball for strike 2. Fastball. So he's coming right at Ohtani, not showing any fear. To baseball's best, Shohei Ohtani. Deppers, the left-hander, checks in, gets the sign from behind the plate of Hop. The windup, the pitch is outside. They're going to look over to third, and they're going to say no swing. Shohei in 61 games has a .301 average, 10 home runs, and 33 ribbies. So Shohei finally breaks into the 300 average this year. Waiting in, the windup, the pitch by Deppers swung on and missed, and down goes Shohei. So Deppers' first strikeout, faces his first batter and gets a strikeout. Roki struck out 2 in the top of the first, and Deppers comes back and strikes out the first man he faces in the bottom of the first. And that brings up Andy Pages this season in 63 games, hitting .286, 13 home runs, 51 ribbies, waiting in. The pitch, high fastball for ball 1. Next pitch, a changeup, just missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Deppers to the windup. The 2-0 pitch swung on, and a high fly ball hit out to deep left field. Back goes Meckler. He's got it on the warning track. So Meckler was back there waiting for something. He didn't have a long way to go as Pages gave that a ride, but only to the warning track. So there's 2 outs now for the Dodgers. And now that'll bring up first baseman Freddie Freeman. Freeman in 60 games, hitting .271, 9 home runs, 34 ribbies, facing Deppler, and pitch on the way is a slider for strike 1. Deppler working quickly. The 0-1 pitch, low for ball 1, slider. 1-1 the count. Waiting up. Pitch on the way to Freddie Freeman is fastball outside, just missing. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch by Depler on the way is high for ball 3. A slider just missing. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Freddie Freeman. The windup by Depler, the pitch swung on and fouled back by Freeman. So the count is now full, a fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for the Dodgers in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Just the start of things here in Dodger Stadium. Reed Depler, 8 games, career versus Dodgers is 1-3 with a 5.9 ERA. The windup, the pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. Depner's 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Fastball. So if anything, Freddie Freeman is making Depler work on the mound. 3 fouls, 7 pitches total. The pitch low for ball 4, and Freddie Freeman walks, and that'll bring up Mookie Betts. Mookie brings a 183 batting average to the plate. 6 home runs, 17 ribbies for a very short period of time. And he's this year he did get up to 202, his season high, but he's dipped down since then to 183. The pitch on the way is inside for ball 1, a fastball missing. Freeman, short lead away from first base. Depler looks over at Freeman. The pitch is a line shot into center field and a diving catch by Trout for out number 3. A nice diving catch going to his right. Trout picks himself up off the turf, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. The score after 1 complete in Los Angeles, the Angels 0, the Dodgers 0. As we move in to the top of the second inning. So for the Angels, in the top of the second, it'll be Adell, the right fielder, followed by Walton, the third baseman, and the shortstop, actually the first baseman, Peraza, will be the first 3 hitters coming up. If anybody gets on, the second baseman, Madrigal, will be hitting in the 4th slot in this top of the second inning. Roki just about done with his warm-up pitches. And we'll shortly be underway here for the start of the second inning. The Dodgers play 2 more games tomorrow night and Sunday against these Angels. Then they'll have a travel day off on Monday and head on over to Pittsburgh for games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then after that little series, they'll head on over to Chicago to take on the White Sox on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So they'll be in Chicago taking on the White Sox 1 week from today. Back to live action as Adell ready to check in for the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Fastball. So the count is 0-1. Roki working quickly. The 0-1 pitch. High fastball missing. 1-1 the count. Sasaki, the windup, and the 1-1 pitch. There's a little tapper hit down to the shortstop. It'll be fielded quickly by Freeland. The throw to Freeman to get him. Check that, Rojas playing second base today for the Dodgers. He lined up right behind second base. So that ball right in his breadbasket, whirled, turned, and threw over to Freeman to get him for out number 1 for the Angels. Espino playing third base. Muncy taking the night off after that violent collision last night with Vargas at first base against the Diamondbacks. First pitch by Roque to Walton is way outside a splitter for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. We're in the top of the second inning, no score. Waiting in is Walton from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball. 1-1 the count. Roque's strike percentage this season, 67% in May, up from March and April when he was down to 60.1. So his strike ratio has definitely improved. The pitch swung on and missed a splitter. Now Walton is facing a 1-2 count. So Roque is definitely on the upswing. The last couple of starts since facing the Angels, he's starting to feel it and round into shape. Roque's now thrown 20 pitches so far in this game. Walton waiting in. The 1-2 pitch. Checks foul going up into the third base crowd. This season in 11 games, Donovan Walton, as he does a check swing, hitting .289. No home runs and 1 ribby. The windup by Roque, the 1-2 pitch was a line shot into center field, moving over Pages, and he's got it on a nice running catch. He did a little leap as he was heading toward the warning track to snag that ball out of the air. So 2 outs now on a nice running, jumping catch by Pages in center field. Roque giving him a high applause against his mitt right behind the mound on that one. And that brings up Peraza, the first baseman. Pitch swung on and missed for strike 1 on a slider. We're in the second inning, 2 outs for the Angels. And the 0-1 pitch on the way is low for ball 1. Slider missing. Peraza hitting .283, 7 home runs and 17 ribbies. Roque, once again, working quickly. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back and out of play, a fastball. Roque's now thrown 25 pitches. Looking to go after Peraza and get out of this inning right now. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a line shot down to Freeman as he dives to it. He's going to carry over to the bag himself and quickly beat out Peraza. So that'll do it for the Angels in the top of the first inning. Nice diving save by Freeman, and he waved off Roque and quickly stuck his foot on the base and got away, not taking any chances after what he saw last night by Vargas getting run over. And that'll do it for the Angels in the top of the second inning. The score, the Angels 0, the Dodgers 0. So as we move to the bottom of the second inning, the Dodgers will now come up and bring up Rojas, Smith, and Call, their first 3 hitters. If anybody gets on, Check that. That'll be Tucker coming up. Tucker Smith and call, and if anybody gets on, Rojas. Depner going through his warm-up pitches on the mound. We're just about ready to get the bottom of the second inning started, as Tucker is about ready to check in right now. Hitting from the left-hand side of the plate as always. No score across the boards for either team. Depner to the windup, and the pitch swung on and fouled high. But check that, it's going to be fair play. Moving over is the third baseman, and he's got it. Is Walton for out number one, just in foul territory. So first ball swinging goes Tucker, and down he goes. And up comes Will Smith. Last night, Will Smith took the night off behind the plate, was the DH, while Ohtani took the night off. Tonight, he's back in his regular position behind home plate. This season, in 51 games, Smith is hitting .251, 6 home runs, and 23 ribbies. First pitch on the way is taken for called, strike one. Let's see if Smith can get something started right now. Depner, the windup, the pitch, fouled back. Change up, 0-2. Depner's now thrown 20 pitches for the Angels. We're in the bottom of the second inning, no score. 2 outs, 1 out for the Dodgers. The pitch on the way swung on and missed, and down goes Will Smith on Depner's second strikeout of the game. And with that, the left fielder call will come in. So for the Dodgers, since they do not have Hernandez in left field, who's out, they've been substituting Call in there, sometimes Ward, to make up the left field action. The pitch on the way to Call is swung on and missed, a fastball. So the count is now 0-1. Alex Call hitting .288, no home runs and 13 ribbies, waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. And the second pitch is swung on and missed again. So while Depner is 1-3 lifetime versus the Dodgers, he's going after it tonight. And he doesn't want to take any chances and fall behind and be cute. He's going to attack these Dodger hitters and make the best of it. Oh and 2, the count on pitch. Here's a little ground ball hit sharply down to the third baseman. He'll grab it. Walton throw over to first base. And they're going to say safe. Oh, so the umpire saying that he came off the bag, Peraza at first, that he didn't have his foot on the bag. Let's see if the Angels want to challenge that. That the throw definitely beat him, but it was the awkwardness that Peraza had as that ball came in. Looking at the replay again, he had the feel. Oh boy, he was in between, but I think, you know what? This may be a challenge. Even though he was straddling the bag, his ankle may have just leaned over and got it before the hustling Call got there. And let's see. This will be very interesting if they do go to a challenge, as they replay showing over and over. He may have just got him with the ankle. Or not. We'll see. So it is a manager's challenge. There's 2 outs. Let's see if Call will be aboard or if that'll end this inning. It'll be very close. If the inning continues, it'll be Rojas coming up to the plate. For whatever reason, Peraza did not have his foot on the bag. Still waiting for the verdict on this manager's challenge. Still waiting. Manager challenges on a call. Here we go. So the call is overturned and he is out. As I had thought, even though his feet had straddled the bag, he leaned over and the ankle just touched the bag before a hustling call could get there. So that'll do it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 2nd inning. No score for neither team. And the Angels will now bring up Madrigal, Hop, and then to the top of the order they go to Netthrow in the top of the 3rd inning. So on the slimmest of margins, the call is overturned, as I said, on that play at first base. So the Dodgers now got to move forward, forget about that, and let's have Roki buckle down and get some outs here for the Dodgers coming up in this top of the 3rd inning. Let's take a quick look, while we have time here, at Roki's line in the 2 innings he's pitched. No walks, 2 strikeouts in 2 innings. On the other side of the field, Depner in his 2 innings has 1 walk and 2 strikeouts, neither one of them allowing any runs. So very close. Another pitching duel, just like last night with Nelson going at it with Wroblewski. Looks like we're in the first 2 innings deadlocked in yet another pitching duel. But it's just the start of things as we enter into the top of the 3rd inning, and Roki will be coming to the mound shortly. Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast, the Dodgers and the Angels. Just the start of things here in Los Angeles. Really no action up to this point. Either side just like a heavyweight fight, exchanging blows and going out either in order, ground ball here, strikeout there. Not really a whole lot of action. So to the top of the 3rd we go, and the first pitch is called strike 1 to Madrigal, hitting in from the right-hand side of the plate. Roki looking in, and the 0-1 pitch. Just outside, a slider for ball 1. So 1-1 the count. We're in the top of the 3rd inning as the Angels are facing Roki. The pitch. There's a little ground ball off of Roki's glove. Picked up backhand of glove by Rojas. Throws into not in time. So what a play by Rojas to barehand that ball out of the glove of Roki as he was moving to his right, throwing to his left, across his body, just missing the hustling runner down the line. Let's see this. What a play by Rojas to glove that to take it barehanded, the throw, and oh, this is going to be another close one. Freeman was down to a splits to catch that ball. It is another bang play at first. And indeed, this is looking like it is a manager's challenge. What a play. And I think he is out. I think this will be another reverse call at first base. And Betts is slapping some high fives on Rojas on that. It is yet to have the official word come down. What a major league play by Rojas. And indeed, another play at first base is overturned, this time in favor of the Dodgers. On a marvelous big league play by Rojas, barehanding that ball and throwing against his body. Freeman full-on splits to catch the ball just before Madrigal could get there. So that'll bring up Hop, the catcher, now to the plate. Wind up. The pitch is taken for called strike one, a slider. So what are the odds of two back-to-back plays at first base being overturned on managers' challenges? A close call at the plate, at the first base. Next pitch on the way, a slider, is over for strike two. Oh, and 2 the count to Hop. The windup, the pitch, swung on and missed, and down goes Hop for Roki Sasaki's third strikeout of the game. Nice one by Roki, just bearing down, and now there's 2 outs in the third inning, and the Dodgers trying to get some momentum starting on defense here with Roki and with the gloves, trying to get their sleepy bats awake. The windup. The pitch on the way to Frazier, hitting in the 9th. Adam Frazier. Wind up. The pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. 1-1 the count. Frazier hitting in from the left-hand side of the plate. The wind up, the pitch is taken outside for ball 2. Pitch swung on and splitter. It's a 2-2 count. Frazier hitting in the 9th position. The windup, the 2-2 pitch outside for ball 3 on a splitter. So suddenly the count is now full at 3-2. 2 outs for the Angels, top of the third inning. No score, just as the game started, 0-0 deadlocked. And this ball is low for ball 1. So ball 4. So Roki allows his first walk of the game. And now to the top of the order we go for the Angels. As Nethro will now come to the plate. Nethro 0 for 1 in his first plate appearance. The pitch taken for called strike 1. So 1 on, 2 outs. Zach Nethro grounded out his first time at bat against Roki. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Splitter missing badly for 1-1. In Dodger Stadium today, it is Pride Night. That's why the LA logo on the hats tonight is in the Pride colors, the rainbow colors, in honor of Pride Night. So the Dodgers having a Friday night Pride Night. Meanwhile, back to live action. Roki's thrown 40 pitches, 1-1 the count. No score. Runner away from first base in Frazier. The pitch is taken for called strike 2, a splitter. 1-2 now the count. One ball, 2 strikes to Nethro. Roki looks into Smith. The The windup, the pitch in the dirt. Ball two, a splitter just missing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No score in the game. We're in the top of the third inning in Dodger Stadium. The stadium's late arriving crowd slowly starting to file in. This place was just about empty at the start of the game. And now people have slowly started to trickle in. Friday night traffic in LA. The pitch. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to Betts. He gloves it. He flips it over to Rojas in time for the out. And that'll do it. What a nice play by Roque as he went to his right, fielded it, and just shoveled it over from the mitt over to Rojas. And Rojas making a spectacular scoop up and getting out Frazier sliding into second base. So that'll do it as we move into the bottom of the third inning. The score, Dodgers 0, Angels 0. Dodgers coming up in the bottom of the third inning. I'll be right back after this very short timeout. Okay, so bottom of the third, back to live action we go. Rojas making 2 spectacular plays in that top of the second inning will lead off for the Dodgers, followed by Espinal, and then to the top of the order we go to Ohtani. And the first pitch on the way to Rojas is taken for called strike 1. This season in 39 games, Rojas is hitting .258, 1 home run and 9 ribbies. .292 average versus left-handed pitchers. The pitch swung on and fouled away. So Rojas really threw his glove at the Angels on that one for out number 1, barehanding that ball, going far to his right, throwing to Freeman to get him, and then for the third out, catching a fine scoop right out of the glove of Mookie. Next pitch on the way is a slider, 0-2 count for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Depner looking in. The pitch is low. Changeup, 86 mile an hour. And the count is now 2-2. Here we go. Pitch on the way. The 2-2 pitch inside for ball 3. A fastball missing. So the count is now full to Rojas. This will be the 30th pitch right now by Depner coming up. And the 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Down he goes. So Rojas strikes out. That'll be Depner's 3rd strikeout of the game. And that'll bring up Mookie Betts. Oh, check that. Espinal will now come up, the 9th hitter. Subbing in for Max Muncy, who was involved in a violent collision last night with Vargas at first base. And Espinal filled in for him last night and is filling for him in this game. The first pitch on the way is a slider for strike one. No balls, one strike. The 0-1 pitch is outside fastball. Pitch to Espinal, slider, misses for ball two. So 2 balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the third inning, 1 out, no score in the game. Not really a whole lot of action up to this point, not counting a couple of fine defensive plays by Rojas. Other than that, this game's been moving quietly along. Either pitcher has allowed a hit up to this point. Espinal waiting in for the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and missed. A fastball, so now the count is 2-2. Depner's definitely come to play in this game against the Dodgers after having a career record of 1 win and 3 losses to him. He definitely doesn't want to take any chances. He's been going after him from the first pitch. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back by Espinal. 1 out. Bottom of the third inning. Depner's now thrown 35 pitches. Espinal hitting .222 on the year with 1 home run and 5 ribbies, waiting in. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, a ground ball hit sharply down to the first baseman Peraza for out number 2. So now Ohtani comes to the plate. Ohtani struck out in his first plate appearance, hitting an even .300 for the year with 10 home runs and 33 ribbies. Waiting in, waving the bat back and forth from the left-hand side of the plate, facing the big lefty Depner. The pitch, low, changeup missing for ball 1. Ohtani waiting in, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. High riding fastball, 1-1. 2 outs, bottom of the third inning, no score. Neither pitcher has allowed a hit. Pitch, right down the middle for called strike 2. Waiting in, the 1-2 pitch to Ohtani, way outside. A slider missing badly for 2-2. Depner has now thrown 40 pitches. The 2-2 pitch, low for ball 3. A changeup missing. 3-2 the count. Three-two pitch, high. They're going to call it strike. What is that? 3-2. Looked like it might have been a strike, but they're going to. It's a 3-2 count. Ohtani is indeed out, as they're going to challenge and find out it was indeed a strike, and down go the Dodgers in the bottom of the third inning. The score: Angels 0, Dodgers 0. We move to the top of the fourth inning. Okay, so the top of the fourth inning we go. Roki, Sasaki, and Depner are involved in a no-hitter face-off up to this point. Neither pitcher budging, given an inch. For Depner, he's allowed one walk with 4 strikeouts, and for Roki, he has allowed one walk and 3 strikeouts. So these pitches are almost a carbon copy of each other in the face-off here of a no-hitter. The Angels will now be bringing up Trout, Meckler, and Adell, first 3 hitters. If anybody gets on, it'll be Walton will be hitting in the 4th slot. A beautiful, clear night in Los Angeles as the sun slowly setting into the west. The windup by Roki, the pitch to Trout is taking a slider for a called strike 1. Trout 0-1, striking out in his last plate appearance. The 0-1 pitch to Trout. A little high. Ball 2, a splitter missing. So 1-1 the count. We're in the 4th inning, no score. 1-1 count to Trout. No outs for the Angels in the top of the 4th. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. A fastball, 1-2. Roki looking down, getting a sign from Smith. The 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to the second baseman Betts. He'll pick it up and throw out Trout at first base. So there's 1 out. And that'll bring up Meckler. Meckler, the left fielder, coming up now for the Angels. Hitting from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch is a slider outside. Take that for called strike 1. 0-1 the count to Meckler. 1 out in the 4th. The pitch, little high. Fastball for ball 1. Roki has thrown 49 pitches up to this point. Roki to the windup. His 50th 1 pitch is a fastball for ball 2. Two and 1 the count to Meckler. Pitch is a slider, just missing for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Meckler. 1 out in the top of the 4th. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Count is now full of fastball. Three and 2 the count. The pitch way high for ball 4. So Roki gives up his 2nd walk, and aboard is Meckler. Roki snatching the ball out of the air from Smith as he threw it back to him in disgust. That'll bring up Adell, the right fielder. So 1 on, 1 out, 4th inning. Neither pitcher has allowed a hit up to this point. Adell waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. There's a ground ball foul along the 3rd base line. So 0-1 the count. Jo Adell grounded out in his first plate appearance, hitting .234 the year with 9 home runs, 35 ribbies. Dodgers trying to shoot 2 here with runner at first. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2, a splitter. 0-2 the count. Roki looking into Smith. Going after him. The 0-2 pitch is taken for called strike 3, and down he goes. So Odell is the victim of Roki's 4th strikeout of the game. So now there's 2 outs in the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Walton. Walton coming in from the left-hand side of the plate, hitting .282 on the year. The pitch swung on and missed, a slider. Roki's dealing now. Walton lined out in his first plate appearance in this evening. Runner away from first base. Roki all business. Looking in. The pitch. There's a swing and a little dribbler foul. So the count is now 0-2. We're in the 4th inning. 2 outs for the Angels. No score in the game. Neither pitcher has allowed a hit. Only a couple of walks by each pitcher. Roki looking in. Has a man at first base that he gave a walk up to. And the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They're going to look at third and they're going to say no swing. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch on the way, and it's taken for called strike 3, and down he goes. So that'll do it for the Angels in the top of the 4th inning. Roki striking out 2, and now he's got 5 strikeouts in the game. And has yet to allow a hit. So that'll do it for the Angels in the top of the 4th inning. From the bottom of the 4th, the Dodgers will bring up Pages, Freeman, and Betts to face Depner. And with that, I'll take a very short break and be right back. Okay, back to live action we go. Into the Dodgers' bottom of the 4th inning. Neither pitcher, Roki Sasaki or Depner for the Angels, has allowed a hit. Both pitching a no-hitter in a stunning pitcher dueling match tonight. As looking at Roki's line, if you're just joining us, Roki has 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, no hits, no runs. Back to live action. Pages now to the plate. First pitch on the way is strike 1. Pages flew out in his first plate appearance, 0 for 1. On the other side of the field, for Depner, he is on his game as well, with 4 strikeouts, only allowing 1 walk. No hits, no runs. A pitch on the way is low, a curveball for ball 1. 1-1 the count to Pages. Pages waiting in, 1-1. The pitch is outside and high, fastball for strike 2. Actually, they're going to call that a strike 2. Neither pitcher's allowed a hit. The 1-2 pitch to Pages is swung on and fouled back, and the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 4th inning, a fast-moving game. This game is almost 1 hour old, and we're into the bottom of the 4th inning. With no score, no runs, the game tends to go a bit faster, as this one is. The pitch on the way swung on and fouled back and out of play, and the count remains 1-2 on a fastball. Roki Sasaki pitched very well against the Angels in his last outing, and now he's yet to allow them a hit, striking out 5. The pitch on the way from Depner to Pages. They're going to check it first, no swing, and that'll make it a 2-2 count. The slider just missing. Pages holding off from that being a full swing. They were checking that if he did go around. The 2-2 pitch to Pages, way outside. The changeup missing badly, and the count is now 3-2. Let's see what Depner is going to come up with here. He has yet to allow a hit. Pages waiting in. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, and a high fly ball to back of coming in his right fielder Adell. He'll make the catch just before going foul, and there's 1 out. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Dodgers. And now that'll bring up Freddie Freeman. Freeman tonight, his first plate appearance, he walked. Depner's thrown 50 pitches up to this point. Freeman waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. First pitch swung on and missed. Freddie was going for it on that one. Freddie Freeman, 0-1 the count. Dodgers trying to get a rally started here. Okay, so Angels are going to challenge that, and it will be a strike. So now the count is 0-2 to Freddie Freeman. 1 out, top of the 4th inning. Thank you for tuning into this broadcast here. It's just the into the 4th inning, a fast-moving game. Neither pitcher's allowed a hit, and we're deadlocked here. Each pitcher's allowed. Let's see here. They're looking over. The umpire's making sure everyone knows it is an 0-2 count. So 0-2 is the count. Freddie Freeman waiting in. The pitch swung on. There's a line shot at the first hit of the game. Goes to Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers. Mike Trout picks it up in center field, and Freeman is around first with a single. So just like that, the Dodgers finally pushing through with a base hit to center field with Freddie Freeman. And that'll now bring up Mookie Betts. Let's see if this is the start of something for the Dodgers right now. Freddie Freeman doing his own Freddie Freeman dance and wave at first base as he's aboard with the initial hit of the game. Mookie waiting in for the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch right down the middle for a changeup and a called strike 1. We're in the 4th inning, only 1 out for the Dodgers. Mookie lining out in his first plate appearance. Freeman away from first base. Depner takes a long look over at Freddie. The windup. The pitch is fastball low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Freeman away from first base. There's only 1 out. No score in this game. Deadlocked. Pitch high and away for ball 2. Fastball missing. Freddie Freeman just getting the first hit of the game for either team, for both teams on the side of, it's the first hit of the game. Pitch on the way is low, a slider missing, and it's now 2-2. Depner looking in. He's thrown 57 pitches. The 2-2 pitch is taken, what? A fastball just missing for ball 3. So the count is now full. Let's see if Freddie Freeman's going to be on his horse and moving, trying to get something started here. 3-2 count. Freddie Freeman away from first base. Betts waving the bat back and forth at the plate. The 3-2 pitch is taken inside. They're going to check at first base. And no swing, and Freddie Freeman moves to second. Betts to first on the walk, and the Dodgers suddenly have 2 men on. Dodgers playing very small ball with a little base hit into center field and now a walk, and that'll bring up Kyle Tucker to the plate. 1 out. We're only in the 4th inning. Actually, a fast-moving game, 4th inning, just barely 1 hour old. Depner's now thrown 59 pitches. Pitching coach for the Angels is now out having a meeting at the mound, making sure everybody's on board with what they're going to do if the ball is hit to them. So 1 out, 4th inning, bottom of the 4th. No score here in Los Angeles. The Angels have yet to get a hit. The Dodgers just barely got their first hit on Freddie Freeman's line single to center field. So now everybody is returned to their positions, and Kyle Tucker's ready to hop in and face Depner and his 60th pitch of the game. Freeman away from second. Betts away from first. Kyle Tucker popped out in his first plate appearance. 2 on, 1 out, 4th inning. Depner with a long look at second base. Freeman, there's a pitch, they're going to say a slider low for ball 1. The plate umpire looks over to third to see what they see. They said no swing, so it's 1 ball, no strike to Tucker. Pitch. There's a line shot down to first baseman. Eats him up as Peraza. He throws over to second for 1, and that's about it. He can't throw to first, so they only get the lead runner out. Tucker's now aboard. Betts is out at second on the force play from Peraza to second baseman, throwing over to the shortstop net throw. So that'll be 2 outs now for the Dodgers, and that'll bring up Will Smith. So the runners are on the corners. You got Freddie Freeman at third, Tucker at first, and Will Smith coming to the plate. Still only 1 hit in this game, and that's gone to Freddie Freeman, the man standing at third base. The Angels have yet to get a hit. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch is taking a changeup for ball 1. Dodgers trying to get home a run here on the bat of Will Smith. It's righty versus lefty. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball, 1-1 the count. Tension rises here on the Dodgers, trying to get something going. 1-1 count. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play in a slider. So the Angels not budging and giving an inch, showing on Pride Night, the Angels are showing their pride as a major league team. They got dusted around, beat around pretty badly in the 3-game homestand that they faced against the Dodgers last time. But the Angels are standing up and looking the bully right in the mouth and saying, look at me now. The pitch on the way swung on and fouled back on the fastball. So the count now is 1-2. Meanwhile, Dodgers got runners on the corners with 2 outs. We're in the 4th inning. Will Smith hanging tough at the plate. Depner's has thrown 65 pitches. The windup, the 1-2 pitch, taken right down the middle for called strike 3, and down go the Dodgers and Will Smith. So, while the Dodgers managed to break up the no-hitter for Depner, they don't score any runs and out they go. So that'll do it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 4th inning. And through 4 innings, the score, Angels 0, Dodgers 0, as we move into the top of the 5th inning. Let's look at Depner. He's thrown 66 pitches. He struck out 5, allowed 2 walks, and 1 hit. On the other side of the field, for Roki Sasaki, he's pitched 4 innings, struck out 5, walked 2, and has yet to allow a hit. So a masterful pitching game by both pitchers have come to play tonight. On a beautiful night here at Dodger Stadium, Dodgers trying to come back from that disappointing outing last night. So from the 5th inning on, Dodgers have yet to score a run. 1, 2, 3, 4 innings last night after scoring their 2 in the 5th, and 4 innings tonight. So the Dodgers have gone 8 scoreless innings over 2 games to this point. No score. Top of the 5th we go. Roki will be facing, see who Roki's going to be facing in this inning. It'll be Peraza, Madrigal, and Hop, the catcher. And if anybody gets on, the 9th hitter, Frazier, the DH. So the performance of the Dodgers starting pitching, 16 consecutive scoreless innings pitched. The starting pitching is showing that they're doing their job. 16 scoreless innings. They did lose last night's game at the hands of the bullpen. Meanwhile, back to live action. Roki to the mound, and the pitch on the way is taken low for ball 1 to Peraza. Fastball just missing. We're in the top of the 5th. No score. Roki has yet to allow a hit. The pitch swung on and missed. A slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one the count to Peraza. The pitch way outside, missing badly on a slider for ball 2. 5th inning, 2-1 count to Peraza. No score for the Dodgers and the Angels in the 5th. There's a line shot down to Espinal at third. He gloves it, throws over to Freeman in time to get the hustling Peraza down the line for out number 1. Nicely played at third base by Espinal. He gathered himself, did a couple of little quick skips, and fired the ball over to Freeman in time for out number 1. Meanwhile, Sasaki, now facing Madrigal, has yet to allow a hit. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1, a splitter. Roki getting ahead of the hitters, one of the key things to his success tonight, right away throwing a strike. Initial pitch, next pitch swung on and missed, a splitter, and the count is now 0-2 to Madrigal. Roki looking in. And the 0-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled down the third baseline. 5th inning. Thank you for tuning in and choosing this broadcast. If you're enjoying it, please give me a thumbs up. Highly appreciate any support you can give along the way. Subscribe to the channel, also appreciated. Back to live action. 0-2 count to Madrigal. The pitch on the way. Swung on, here's a line shot. Back goes Call way back. It's going to bounce short off the wall. Call's going to pick it up and throw it in to the field. And let's see, he'll be with a line. That'll be a double. And so Sasaki finally gives up his first hit in the top of the 5th inning to Madrigal. So now with 1 out, you have 1 on and a man in scoring position. Hop to the plate. The pitch way high. Chin music. He had to back way back to get out of the way of that one. For 1 ball and no strikes. Logan Hop struck out in his first plate appearance, playing behind the plate for the Angels. The pitch is slider, just missing for ball 2. So this is the tough part to be a major league pitcher, to forget about what just happened, get yourself back on track as Rocky's trying to do right now. The pitch swung on. There's a line ball down to Espinal. He looks over to get the runner back to stay at second, throws over to first for the out, as Madrigal had nowhere to go once Espinal gloved that ball at third and gave him a hard look over and then threw over to Freeman to get out Hop, and now there's 2 outs in the 5th inning. Okay, now comes Frazier, the designated hitter. He walked his last plate appearance, hitting .215 with 1 home run and 6 ribbies. All Roky has to do now is bear down and get him. The pitch on the way is outside, fork ball for ball 1. We're in the 5th inning, no score. Each pitcher has given up only 1 hit in this game. Roky looking in. The pitch swung on and missed. A splitter, 88-mile-an-hour splitter. And the count is now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sasaki. The pitch right down the middle for strike 2. Fastball. So now Roky's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Roky Sasaki's pitch use, he's thrown 98% fastballs. 90 splitter. Let's see. The pitch, check that on the speed gun that was. That pitch is low, a splitter for a 2-2 count. Misleading stat there. Sorry about that. Frazier waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. Roky's now thrown 75 pitches in this game. Pitch swung on and missed, and down he goes. And that'll do it for the Angels in the 5th inning. So Roky now is officially the pitcher of record, but there's no score. With a score, the Dodgers 0, Angels 0, and the Dodgers coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. And with that, who are the Dodgers bringing up now? Trying to get some run action in here. They'll have Call, the left fielder, followed by Rojas and Espinal. So hitters 7, 8, and 9 is who they'll be turning to. Actually, last night, it was that lower half of the order that got them some action going in the game to get the 2 runs in. And that was it. So the top of the order really has been very quiet all yesterday and into today's game. Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at Roky's line. I think he has 6 strikeouts, and that is correct. 6 strikeouts, only allowing 2 walks and 1 hit. And on the other side of the field for the Angels, Depner has been masterful also, striking out 5, allowing 2 walks, and allowing only 1 hit in his 4 innings of pitch. Let's see if the Dodgers can get something started right now with the bottom half of the order in Call, Rojas, and Espinal. And if anybody gets on, Shohei Ohtani will be coming up. I'm going to take a very quick break. Be right back. Okay, back to live action we go. The first pitch on the way to Call is taken for called strike 1. Call in his first plate appearance, ground and out. hitting .284, no home runs, 13 ribbies. Alex Call waiting in, playing left field tonight. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and suddenly the count is now 0-2. Who would have thought this game would be where we're at now? Bottom of the 5th inning. Each pitcher has only allowed 1 hit and no score up to this point. Depner looking in, gets the sign from Hop. The windup and the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, bouncing. A slider missing badly for 1-2. On deck is Rojas. Waiting in. Bottom of the 5th inning, no score. The windup by Depner. The pitch way outside for ball 2, a slider. Depner's now thrown 70 pitches so far. The windup and the pitch. There's a shot right at the second baseman, Madrigal, who gloves it for out number 1. So a line drive right to Madrigal. He didn't even hardly have to move an inch and reached the glove out and caught it. And suddenly the Dodgers now have 1 out in the 5th inning, and up comes Miguel Rojas. Depner's now thrown 71 pitches through 5 innings. Both pitchers have really been on their game. Rojas waiting in. The pitch is a curveball over for strike 1. Check that, ball 1. Rojas 0 for 1. The windup, the pitch. There's a high fly ball pop-up. Moving over as a second baseman, Madrigal. He's there. He's got it right at the edge of the grass to make that catch for out number 2. And Espinal will come up. So Depner has only thrown 73 pitches through 5 innings, and Dodgers really helping him out, going after some pitches right off the bat here. Early action. He's only thrown about 4 or 5 pitches this inning. Espinal now waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. 2 outs in the 5th inning. The pitch is taken for called strike 1, a curveball. One and 0-1 the count. Espinal pitch swung on and missed. Fastball missing. 0-2. Espinal lining out in his last plate appearance, hitting .217 with 1 home run. Depner working quickly. The 0-2 pitch swung on and a line foul down to third baseline on a slider. So the count is 0-2. We're in the 5th inning. 2 outs for the Dodgers. No score. Both teams have only gotten 1 hit off the opposing pitcher. Pitch swung on and a high pop-up again. Second baseman Madrigal is going to catch all 3 outs. He's waiting. He's got it for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th inning. The score after 5 complete in Los Angeles, the Angels 0 and the Dodgers 0. We move in to the top of the 6th inning in a deadlock 0-0 game. Each pitcher has only allowed 1 hit, and Roki is coming out to face the Angels yet again. Hang in there. I'll be right back after this brief moment. Okay, back and better than ever, waiting for Roki to come on out as he does his warm-up pitches here. Who's going to be the first one to flinch and break here in a 1-1 hitter for both sides, a deadlock 0-0 game? So when you hear a 1-1, you think 1-1 tie on the score. No, that's 1-1 on the hit total for both teams. And the Dodgers have yet to score. Angels have yet to score. Roki's been pitching masterfully, as well as Depner for the Angels. So who'll be coming up now for the Angels to try to get something started? Let's look at that. Will be to the top of the order. Netthrow, Trout, and Meckler will be the first three hitters coming up. And if anybody gets on, Adell, the right fielder. If you're in the area, June 20th, the Dodgers are having Shaquille O'Neal bobblehead night. June 20th, 7:10 start against the Baltimore Orioles, only given out to the first 40,000 fans. So Dodgers doing a Shaquille O'Neal promotional night. Back to live action. Roki to the mound, facing Netthrow. The pitch. There's a line shot. Call moving over. It's going to fall for the second hit of the game. And Call gets the ball in quickly as Netthrow wasn't fooling around. One up there, first pitch, first hit, boom, into left field for a base hit. Roki's now thrown 77 pitches. We're in the sixth inning. The Angels just got their second hit of the game. Roki looking in. Mike Trout swinging in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. A slider. Mike Trout in his first 6, 7, 8, 9 season was a for sure Hall of Famer. Now he's just hanging on, trying to survive. Trout hitting .237 on the year. Waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch is taken for called strike 2. Fastball. So 0-2 the count. And he's 0-2, striking out and grounding out in his first two plate appearances. We're in the sixth inning. No outs in the sixth. One on for the Angels. Angels waiting up with Mike Trout. Roki looking in. Throws over to first base and Netthrows back diving to first base. Safe. Roki looking in. Still checking the runner. The 0-2 pitch is, that's going to be strike 3 and down goes Trout. So Trout strikes out twice in this game. Roki 7 strikeout. And if you're a Jack in the Box fan, get on over there tomorrow and get yourself a Jumbo Jack with a purchase of any drink. There's a promotional ad for you right there. So Roki getting his 7th strikeout, and he struck out future Hall of Famer Mike Trout. Meckler now comes in, hitting 0 for 1. Roki's thrown 80 pitches. The first pitch on the way to Meckler is outside, a fastball missing for ball 1. Meckler 0 for 1, walked in his other plate appearance. We're in the sixth. 1 out. No score. Angels just got their second hit. The throw over to first base. Meckler, check that, neat throw, diving back head first. Meckler at the plate. Roki's thrown 81 pitches. The 1-0 pitch. There's a throw down to the second base. It missed it. The throw, well, it looked like it got him, was a nice dive by Netthrow to get around the tag by Mookie, and he's stolen it. So that's the very thing that Mookie was trying to avoid. Was actually the very thing that Roki was trying to avoid was a stolen base, and Netthrow got it. Took off running, trying to make something happen for the Angels. So we're in the sixth inning. A runner's now stolen second base, is at second base. There is a manager's challenge now on that net throw stolen base. Let's see what's going to come of this one. Looking at it, it looked like he had initially beaten it, but then they show where it looked like Mookie did tag him out on the thigh as he was sliding it head first to second. So let's see what happens here. The long wait, still waiting for the word to come down. Meanwhile, the count is 1-1 to Meckler at the plate. Nethro and Mookie having a few words there at second base. I think he's stolen it. Looks like he's on first. They keep running it back and forth, back and forth. Waiting. The manager's challenge. One and one the count, but right now the big story is what's happening at second base and what are the umpires going to rule on this manager's challenge at second. And they're saying the runner is safe. So net throw was safe. The initial call was correct. The umpires had 2 calls overturned at first base, but this call at second base will stand. And the count now remains 1-1 to Meckler at the plate, but now you have a runner at second base and net throw. We're in the 6th inning, no score. The pitch is taken for called strike 2, splitter. Sasaki's thrown 83 pitches thus far. Is only allowed 2 hits, no runs allowed. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 3. And down goes Meckler for out number 2 for the Angels, and Roki's 8th strikeout of the game. So Roki's working it. He's really playing. He's masterfully working it. As 8 strikeouts allowed, given up 2 walks, but he hasn't allowed any runs at all. And now he's got a runner at second. He's got to make sure he doesn't come across the plate and score. The pitch on the way is a ground foul by Adele. In the bullpen, Alex Vesia. Vesia having a little disappointing outing last night against the Diamondbacks. Joe Adele, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout in this game. Meanwhile, the count to him is 0-1. The pitch on the way, there's a ground ball hit down to Espinal, diving, whirls, turns, throws, got him at first base. And that'll do it for the Angels in the 6th inning, and their little chance of a rally is out, and the Dodgers get out of that top of the 6th inning unscathed. Only allowing 1 hit was Roki. So the score at the end of 5.5 innings in Los Angeles, the Angels 0, the Dodgers 0. And we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, back to live action. Bottom of the 6th inning we go in a deadlock 0-0 score. The Dodgers have only gotten one hit off of the Angels. Who would have believed that if you were to tell someone 2 weeks ago when the Dodgers were mollywhopping the Angels all over Angel Stadium for 3 games, that the Dodgers would struggle in Dodger Stadium a couple of weeks later to barely get one hit. No one would have believed it, but that's just baseball. So to the top of the order we go with Ohtani, Pages, and Freeman trying to desperately get something started against Depner. The pitch on the way swung on and missed. A curveball by Ohtani for strike 1. Ohtani has struck out twice tonight, hitting .299. He's fallen below 300. Now is a great time for the Dodgers to start a rally right now. Pitch on the way is low and outside for ball 1. Depner has thrown 79 pitches so far. 1-1 count to Ohtani. The windup, the pitch, swung on, and a high fly ball hit out to left fielder Meckler. He's there. He's got it right near the warning track for out number 1 for the Dodgers in the 6th inning. So 1 out on Depner's 80th pitch of the game. And that'll bring up Pages. Andy Pages comes up. 0 for 2 in the game tonight. Hitting .283 on the year. Pages waits in. The windup by Depner. The pitch is taken for called strike 1 on a changeup. 0-1 the count. Let's see if Rocky's going to come out for yet a set for the 7th inning, as Vesia's warming up in the bullpen. The windup, the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2 on the fastball. Once again, thank you to you folks who tuned into this broadcast. Hope you're enjoying it. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Appreciate any support and help you can give along the way. Meanwhile, back to live action. Depner has thrown 82 pitches. Dodgers have yet to score a run, as well as the Angels, in a deadlock 0-0 game of the 6th inning. The pitch on the way is low for ball 2, a curveball missing. One and 2 the count. The pitch swung on, and there's a little line drive base hit into right field. The Dodgers got their 2nd hit of the game as Pages rounds first, and he'll hold it there. Adele picks it up and throws the ball in. And now the Dodgers got a runner on with 1 out, just as the Angels did in the top of their 6th inning. 1 on, 1 out in the 6th inning. Each team has 2 hits and no runs, no errors. Let's see what the Dodgers do with their man at first base. Freddie Freeman up to the plate. Freeman, in his last plate appearance, got the first hit of the game with a single. Waiting in now. Walked in his other plate appearance. The pitch is low, slider for ball 1. Pages going with the pitch on that one. The right-hander hitting it into, poking it right into right field for a base hit. Now Pages with a little lead off of first base. Freeman waits in. The pitch, there's a throw down. He's going to try to steal it, and he is out from me to you. So Pages tried to steal, and he didn't make it. And now there's 2 outs. So 2 outs now in the 6th inning. And the line reads the same across the board for both teams. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for both teams. Meanwhile, Freddie Freeman fouls off a pitch, and the count is now 1-2 to Freeman. Depner looks in. 2 outs in the 6, gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. A changeup for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fast-moving game. Freeman waiting in, and the 2-2 pitch on the way by Depner. Just outside, 3-2. Depner's now thrown 89 pitches. Waiting in, looking for his 90th pitch. What's it going to be? A ball or a strike? The pitch swung on, a little dribbler, foul. Three and two the count to Freeman. Waiting on deck is Mookie Betts. Depner to the windup. The 3-2 pitch swung on, tried to hold up. They look over at third, and it is indeed a strikeout. So that'll do it for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The score after 6 complete innings, Dodgers 0, Angels 0. Angels coming up in the top of the 7th inning. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, so it looks like we're about ready to continue here with the top of the 7th inning we go. What I want to see here is, yep, Roki is out there. So Roki is going to go into the 7th inning for the Dodgers. Let's see how much of a short leash they give him against the Angels here. The pitch on the way is called strike 1. This has been a pitching performance matchup of the ages. Each 6 innings only allowed 2 hits, 6 strikeouts for Depner, 8 for Roki. Each has allowed 2 walks. Who would have thunk it that this would be a deadlock 0-0 game by both pitchers? Still in the game, only allowing 2 hits each. The pitch on the way is outside. Hey, check that for strike 2, a splitter. Just catching the corner. So now it's 0-2, starting pitching for the Dodgers. 18 consecutive scoreless innings pitched. Of course, that doesn't mean much because a bullpen blew the game last night for them. Misleading stat, although it was a really fine performance by Wroblewski last night, but it went to waste when you lose a game. Meanwhile, back to live action. Walton has an 0-2 count at the plate. Roki, the pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back and out of play. Waiting for the 500th view to come in here. 0-2 the count to Walton, and we're at 5-0-2. And meanwhile, in the Dodger dugout, Enrico Hernandez gets up. Pitch swung on and foul by Walton. a splitter. Count remains 0-2. Walton. Roki's pitches by innings has been very impressive. He's only had 2 innings where he pitched 17 innings. The rest of them he's been lower than that. 0-2 the count. 7th inning. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. And Roki Sasaki has a new strikeout total as a Dodger. 9 strikeouts. He's really on his game tonight, striking out Walton there. And that'll bring up Peraza, the first baseman. Peraza swinging in for the right-hand side of the plate. The pitcher tries to bunt and goes foul. A slider for an 0-1 count. 9th strikeout tonight, a career high for Roki Sasaki. Again, is Roki finally finding himself, or is it just the Angels? Well, he pitched fine on his last appearance after pitching against the Angels. There's a shot hit high in the air, but waiting for it is Pages in center field for out number 2. So 2 outs in the 7th inning. Roki's now thrown 94 pitches. I can't imagine Roberts, if Roki gets out of this unscathed, will allow him to go out for an 8th inning, already pitching 94. Let's see what it takes him here to get out. Madrigal come into the plate. Madrigal doubled in the 5th inning, hitting that off the left field wall. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1, a fastball. 0-1 count. Roki's now thrown 95 pitches. Usually after 100 pitches, the pitcher's done for the game. Wind up. The pitch. Taken for called strike 2. And Roki is one strike away from his 10th strikeout, a career high. And what a way to end the night if indeed he can get it. Let's see what's he going to do. Madrigal wading in. 0-2 the count. Swung on and a little dribbler around the third baseline. Foul ball. Oh and 2 the pitch. Swung on and missed. They're going to throw over to first base to get him out, and that's the 10th strikeout for Roki, and that'll pretty much more than do it for Roki in this game as we finish the 7th inning. The score, Angels 0, Dodgers 0. We'll be right back after this short break. Okay, so for Roki, that'll do it. 98 pitches, he's done. 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, only allowing 2 walks, only 2 hits, and a career high 10 strikeouts. And that'll do it on the other side of the field for Depner, as well as Chase how do you pronounce that? Selseth is coming in for the Angels. Selseth, well, we'll go with that. 20 innings pitched. Waiting in, Mookie Betts from the right-hand side of the plate. We're in the 7th inning. Dodgers trying to steal it right here from the Angels. Now that Depner's out of the game, the pitch swung on and missed on a sweeper. 0-1 count. Dodgers, Mookie Betts waiting in. Selseth has been sitting around the whole game. Comes in. The pitch is a splitter low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7th inning, no score. Each team has only gotten 2 hits and no runs here. Waiting in. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2. A fastball just hitting the black part. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Frustrated.
Mookie Betts, 0 for 1 with a walk. The windup, the 1-2 pitch, swung on, line foul down the third base line. A splitter. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Selseth, windup, the pitch. There's a line foul down the third base line again. So unless the Dodgers can score a run in this inning, Roki stands to have nothing to do with this game. The pitch on the way, there's a line up down to the shortstop, picked up by the second baseman, throw in time to get him. So the second baseman went over into the shortstop territory, the other side of the bag, and threw across his body to get out Mookie Betts. So 1 out. And Roki is 2 outs away from getting no decision in this game. Dodgers got to score something in this inning. Come on, help a man out. Let's go, Dodgers. Right now, call in all cars. Get some runs in this inning and help Roki out. Tucker waiting in for the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and fouled back. 0-2. Check that, 0-1. Tucker's 0 for 2 in the game. Tucker waiting in. 0-1 the count. The windup, the pitch, swung on and fouled back. A splitter, and the count is now 0-2. Seventh inning, 1 out, no score in the game. Roki is pitched masterfully, 98 pitches. This pitch on the way to Tucker's low and away for ball 1, 1-2. On a night that Roki strikes out 10 Angels, he's a couple of outs away, if the Dodgers don't score any runs, from having nothing to do with this game. The windup, the pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Tucker. Selseth's first strikeout of the game. And now, for the Dodgers, comes up Will Smith. All season long, last season, this season, Roki has been a disappointment up to when he faced the Angels his last time, and now this time, and in between. So the pitch on the way to Smith is a fastball missing for ball 1, and Roki has suddenly found himself again against the Angels, striking out 10. Unfortunately for Roki and the Dodgers haven't scored any runs to help him out. The windup, the pitch is taken for ball 2, and now the Angels are going to ask for a challenge on this. Let's see what the challenge comes back as. So it indeed will be a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes to Will Smith. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. No score. Each team has 2 hits. And each team has no runs. Will Smith waiting in. Scoreboard, the Views laughing. 5-5-5 all the way. The pitch on the way. Slow. For ball 3. A sweeper. Three balls, no strikes to Will Smith. On deck is Call, the left fielder. The 3-0 pitch on the way to, that'll be ball 4. Smith is aboard on a walk. And up comes Alex Call, the left fielder. Call 0 for 2, grounded out, lined out in his previous 2 at-bats. There'll be a meeting at the mound now for the Angels, seeing how they want to play this. Selseth has thrown 14 pitches. Call waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. Everybody back to their positions. And the pitch. Way outside. Fastball missing badly. 1 ball. No strikes. 1 on, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, no score. Each team has 2 hits each. The pitch. Swung on and missed by Call. Fastball. So the count is now 1-1. The pitch is taken for a called strike 2, a sinker. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 7th inning. 1 on, 2 outs, no score. Selseth looking in, check Smith at first. The windup, the pitch, way outside for ball 2, a sweeper missing badly. Pitch on the way, 2-2. It's going to be low for ball 3, a splitter. So now Selseth is 1 pitch away from walking a second man on base. Rojas waiting on deck. And the pitch swung on, and a little nubbler, high little pop-up that Selseth will catch for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the 7th inning. The score after 7 complete, the Angels 0, the Dodgers 0. We'll be right back after this very short timeout. So here we go. Back to live action. And the Dodgers will have out Eduardo Henriquez coming up. 21 games he's pitched in, 19 strikeouts, 9 walks, 1 home run allowed. And we are deadlocked in a 0-0 game. In the 8th inning we go. Who would have ever thunk that when you looked at the starting pitchers that were going out there? Depner versus Roki. Meanwhile, back to live action. Hop to the plate. 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. The pitch on the way. Now he's going to try to bunt it, and it'll go way foul behind the plate and into the second deck. 0-1 now the count to Hop. The 0-1 pitch on the way to Hop. Way outside, sinker for ball 1. So for all of Roki's masterful pitching tonight, 10 strikeouts, only allowing 2 walks, no runs, he gets nothing to do with it as far as the decision goes, but a lot of nice statistics along the way. The pitch on the way is low, a sinker for strike 2. So they call that a strike. They're not going to be a challenge, and the Dodgers will take it and be quiet about it. Luckily, actually, yeah, the Dodger, that will be a strike. Hop can't believe it, not in his head, and he's right, but the count is 1-2. Pitch is high. Oh, they're going to call it a strikeout, and the slider, and Hop is totally frustrated as Henriquez. Hop tried to hold up on that, so he was cheated on his at-bat all the way. He got called on, rigged on a strike that wasn't a strike, and then he tried to hold up on that and was thrown out. Anyways, back to live action. Frazier to the plate. 8th inning, 1 out now. Frazier waiting in. The pitch is high, a fastball, missing for ball 1. 102-mile-an-hour fastball. So Henriquez is not screwing around. He's coming in and dealing. Pitch inside, fastball missing for ball 2. Pitch on the way. It's 2-0 count. I'll get back to that question in the chat in a minute. The pitch is taken for a called strike 1. To answer that question, I think they did right. You got 100 pitches and thereabouts, 98. Bring the bullpen in. That's what they're being paid to do. Shut out the Angels here. So, no, I would not have left Roki in. No point in it. Just bring in the bullpen. And look, you got Henriquez here throwing some BBs out there. And the count is now 2-2 to Frazier. The pitch on the way is swung on and missed, and down goes Frazier on the curveball. Waited all evening to say that. So 2 strikeouts now for Henriquez and 2 outs for the Angels. And we're in the 8th inning, no score. So the Dodgers had their hearts ripped out of their chest and showed to them last night by the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers trying to return the favor to the Angels tonight. Net throw, waiting to the plate. The pitch on the way is low for a slider. And the Dodgers can do that by scoring in the bottom of the 8th inning and then shutting out the Angels in the 9th and get out of here with a victory. All game long, we've been deadlocked in a 0-0 tie. The pitch on the way, sinker, 102-mile-an-hour sinker. Now there's going to be a challenge. Let's see. Dodgers challenge, and it is a strike. So it's a 1-1 now count. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Net throw to the plate. The top of the order. So the Dodgers, in my opinion, did right, pulling Sasaki, not being a second guesser, being a first guesser. Henriquez waiting in, the windup, the pitch, swung on and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tommy Lasorda always used to say a second guesser is a guy who got it wrong on the first guess. Rest in peace, Tommy. Forever in the minds and hearts of true Blue Dodger fans. Meanwhile, back to live action. Enriquez has thrown 12 pitches, then 1 and 2 count. Fans are doing the wave, what little is left of him here. 2 outs in the 8th inning. The pitch, oh, it hits him in the head, and down goes Nethro, and he'll take first base. Where did that ball actually... Did it hit his shoulder? He went down, crumpled to the plate, and let's see, look at the replay. It hit him on the top of the shoulder. So, top of the left shoulder, being a right-hand batter. So he'll be sore in the morning, but he'll be okay. He'll survive it. And now the Angels have a base runner. We're in the 8th inning. Now 2 outs, 1 on, and up comes future Hall of Famer Mike Trout to the plate. Has struck out twice and grounded out, but all of those were against Roki Sasaki. Let's see what he does against Henriquez right now. 1 on, 2 outs. Pitch on the way is checks, and did he go around? They said no, so it'll be a ball. One ball, no strikes to Trout. Net throw away from first base. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Fastball, 100-mile-an-hour fastball. One and one the count to Mike Trout. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball for strike 2. That ball was way outside. Had Trout not swung at it, he'd have 2 balls and 1 strike. He went fishing and came up empty. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the 8th inning. No score. Deadlocked in a 0-0 game. The pitch on the way. Inside. The throw down to the stealing net throw. He's in there easily. Fastball, 103-mile-an-hour fastball was a ball. And now Nethro stolen second base. And the count is 2-2 to Trout. Pitch on the way is taken for strike 3, and down he goes. So that'll do it. By the way, you know what? I did misread that question. He's asking if Roki was the centerpiece for a Skubal trade, or would you hold through and trust him? No, I'd stick with Roki. You have good enough pitching. Look at this. The scoreless innings that they've put together, you really don't need Skubal. You've got enough pitching. Last year, starting pitching is the centerpiece, and they can be they're back. They got guys that are out in the DL that are coming back. So no, you don't need Skubal. What for? Ride with what you got, dance with the one you brung, and stick with them. I think Roki is finally starting to come around again. Or is it fool's gold just facing the Angels? And as he's had those 2 great performances against the Angels, but his last other performance after the Angels was also pretty good. So I think Roki's coming around into shape with Yamamoto and Ohtani and Robolewski. I mean, the Dodgers definitely have enough arms to win it again. It's just where are the bats at tonight? They're certainly nowhere to be found. No runs against the Angels as we now go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see if the Dodgers can steal this game here with a run and shut out the Angels in the ninth. And it'll be the bottom of the order with Rojas, Espinal, and Ohtani coming up. So if the Dodgers are going to pull what the Diamondbacks did to them last night, scoring 2 in the 8th to tie and 1 in the 9th to win it, now is the chance for the Dodgers to do it. Push forth a run here in this 8th inning, doing it however, any way you can. Small ball, long ball, whatever. Looks like Muncy's now going to come up to pinch hit for Rojas. So pinch hitter for Rojas will be Muncy, who was involved in that violent collision last night. So now he'll be in there to face Sam Bachman for the Angels, a new pitcher. 28 innings he's pitched, 29 strikeouts, 14 walks, and in comes Max Muncy. Muncy swinging in from the left-hand side of the plate. Snapshot. When I remember Muncy, the one shot I'll always remember is him hitting that home run against the Red Sox in the 18th inning in the World Series to end that game. 18-inning game. The slider on the way is taken for strike 1. Bachman waiting in. The pitch swung on and fouled back. A changeup for 0-2 count. Let's see if Max Muncy can pull a Kurt Gibson and knock it out here right now. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. It isn't to be. And 3 pitches and 1 out. Down goes Muncy. So 1 out for the Dodgers in the 8th inning. And up comes Alex Freeland. No score in the game. We're in the 8th. 1 out. Freeland waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. Pitch hitting for Espinal. So Roberts is now starting to empty his bench. 2 back-to-back pinch hitters. And waiting on deck, Shohei Ohtani. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1, a slider. So 1-1 the count. We're in the 8th inning. No score. Bachman freshly into the game for the Angels, facing Freeland, who's into the game fresh himself right off the bench. The pitch outside. Sinker missing for 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike to Freeland. And the pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2, a changeup. So 2-2 is the count. Freeland steps out, adjusts his gloves before hopping back in. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. Two and two the count. Swung on and fouled away. Changeup. Bachman ready for his 10th pitch of the game. 2-2 the count. Way and so it hits Freeland. So Freeland will take his base. So the Dodgers hit net throw, and the Angels come right back and hit Freeland to put him aboard, and up comes Shohei Ohtani. Let's see if Ohtani can make the Angels pay for that as he steps in. So now with one out, Dodgers have one on, and Shohei to the plate. He struck out twice and flown out, but all of those were against depth throw. Now let's see Depner. The pitch on the way. Swung on, and a line shot to left field. Waiting for it there is Meckler. He'll catch it, throw it on in, and back to first base goes Freeland for out number 2. First ball swinging Shohei was. And up comes Andy Pages. Pages 1 for 3 with a single. Got thrown out trying to steal second base earlier. No score in the bottom of the 8th. The pitch, slider for strike 1. We're in the 8th inning. Each team has 2 hits and no runs. Pages waiting in. The pitch swung on and missed. A slider for strike 2. Freeland remains at first base. The 0-2 pitch to Pages is fouled away. Sinker missing. So the count remains 0-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning, no score. That foul was right off of Pages' foot, but luckily he had the shin guard on. Pitch on the way, fouled down the third base line. And the count remains 0-2. Bachman with a long look into Hop to get the sign. 0-2 the count. The pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Pages and the Dodgers, and the 8th inning is in the books. The score after 8 complete innings at Dodger Stadium, the Angels 0, the Dodgers 0. I'll be right back after this very short, quick break. So, to the 9th inning we go. No score for either team. 2 hits by each team has only gotten 2 hits. So for the Angels, let's see who the Angels will be bringing up here in the 9th inning. It'll be Meckler, followed by Adell, and then Walton. Meanwhile, for the Dodgers defensively, Muncy will go to third. Call will go to left field. So, change my little lineup call here. Freeland. The pitch on the way is ball 1. Pitch again by Tanner Scott's now into the game. Swung on and missed. A 1-1 count now to Wade Meckler. Meckler 0-2 with a walk. Tanner Scott fresh into this game after giving up the walk-off home run last night, and he's back out there again tonight. 2-1 the count to Meckler. The pitch swung on and fouled down the first baseline. Two and two the count to Meckler. No outs. We're in the 9th inning. Tanner Scott trying to redeem himself after the disaster last night. The slider is swung on and fouled away. Angels in the bullpen. Kirby Yates is starting to throw. And for the Dodgers, in the bullpen is Blake Treinen. 2-2 the count to Meckler. Let's see if Tanner can buckle down here. The pitch swung on and missed, and down he goes. So 1 strikeout in the 9th inning. So 1 out. We're in the 9th. And Adell coming to the plate. 0 for 3. Tension mounts. Adell, 2 groundouts, a strikeout. Waiting and facing Scott. The pitch swung on and missed. A slider. 0-1 the count. Adell waving the bat back and forth from the right-hand side of the plate. Tanner Scott's dealing. The pitch swung on and a foul down the third baseline. No, it's going to be picked up by Muncy. The long throw. They're going to, let's see if they say it was fair or foul. Not sure what the official call is here, as Adell is, what happened? What are we doing? Ball looked like it was fouled. It did hit off of the foot initially and swung, and I don't know if this is a manager's challenge or what we're doing, but as soon as Muncy got that ball at third base from behind the bag, he immediately fired it over to the first baseman Freeman for the tag out, and it'll be a foul ball. So 0-2 the count. Adell back to the plate. Roberts came out and had a word with the umpire, just getting things squared away, and now we're back to live action. Scott looking in. The 0-2 pitch is a slider, and what are we going to do? Looks like the Dodgers are going to challenge this. And the Dodgers' challenge will be a ball. So it'll be 1-2. Call confirmed, 1-2 to Adell. 1 out in the 9th inning. Tanner Scott's now thrown 9 pitches. The 1-2 pitch is low fastball, missing for ball 2. The 2-2 pitch swung on and a high fly ball. Out goes, in comes Tanner, out. Oh, it's going to drop in between the two and aboard safely is Adell. That was running a long way was Freeland out to shallow right field, and Tanner, check that, Tucker couldn't get there either. It landed in between the two of them in no man's land, and Adell is aboard with a base hit. Looked like Freeman was running a lot harder than Tucker was to that ball. But either way, it results in a base hit and the third hit of the game for the Angels. The pitch It's a little bunt. They're going to bunt him over to second base, and that'll be sacrifice and out number 2 for the Angels, as Walton sacrificed himself there. And Dave Roberts is now coming out with a hook to take out Scott just before we get to Peraza. 2 outs in the 9th inning, and he's going to go to the bullpen, and he's bringing in Blake Treinen. So Treinen coming in. We're in the 9th, 2 outs, and there's a brief timeout. I'll be right back. Okay, back to live action. Blake Treinen's now into the game. 18 innings pitched this season, 18 strikeouts, 7 walks. We got a runner at second base. Peraza to the plate. Oswald Peraza, 0 for 3, 2 ground outs. There's a shot hit down to Freddie Freeman. First pitch, 1 out, and down go the Angels in the 9th inning. So Blake Treinen, can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? Comes in, does his job, gets 1 pitch, 1 out, and the Dodgers are out of the 9th inning. As we now move into the bottom of the 9th, and a chance for the Dodgers to steal this game with a walk-off, just like the Diamondbacks did to them last night. And they'll have up Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Kyle Tucker. So that's a good heart of the lineup right there, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. If you're going to do it big and steal this game. Tear the heart right out of the Angels' chest and show it to them. And take this game home with a victory. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, the Angels now have 3 hits, Dodgers 2 hits. So let's see what you're going to do with it, Dodgers. Right now is your time to shine if you're going to do it, make it happen. A brief timeout. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're waiting for the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be the heart of the order coming up for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Kyle Tucker, hitters 3, 4, and 5, facing the Angels. The line on the score, no runs, 3 hits for the Angels and no errors. In comes Kirby Yates. In 10 games, he's pitched 9 1/3 innings, 12 strikeouts, 4 walks. He's allowed 1 home run. The hard right-hand throwing Kirby Yates coming in. And he's going to face left-hand hitting Freddie Freeman right out of the box. 0-0 score, into the ninth we go. Freeman waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch on the way is low for ball one. Fastball missing. Freddie Freeman 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Now is the time for the Dodgers to steal this game, rip it out of the hearts of the Angels and show it to them. Here we go. The pitch on the way. Taken for called strike one. Freddie Freeman will forever be immortalized in the Dodger lore with that home run in the World Series, much like Kirk Gibson did against the Oakland A's. Can Freddie Freeman turn the lights out on the Angels right now with one shot into the stands? Let's see if he can do it. Walk off Freddie right now. 2-1 pitch. Way inside for ball three. So Freddie Freeman has walked and singled. He walked his last time up. And now he's trying to get up with a walk-off home run. Let's see what he's going to do. 3-1. Swung on and fouled back and out of play. Now the count is full. 3-2 the count to Freddie Freeman. What you gonna do, Yates? The pitch on the way. Swung on and a high fly ball into the deep left field. Back to the wall. It's gone and out of here. And just like that, the home run gong returns and the Dodgers have a walk-off home run by Freddie Freeman. It is over. It is high. It is long. It is deep. It is out of here. And the Dodgers win it on a thriller by Freddie Freeman with a walk-off home run. After a long spent, the Dodgers had that hearts ripped out of them last night on a walk-off homer, and the Dodgers returned the favor to the Angels in the game tonight. That'll do it. The final score from Dodger Stadium, the Dodgers the line, Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. The Angels, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Thank you so much for tuning into the broadcast. Have yourself a pleasant good evening to you wherever